What if I told you that everything you see right now, your screen, your room, even your own hands, isn't really there the way you think it is? Neuroscientists now believe that reality is a controlled hallucination, your brain's best guess of what's out there, not a direct recording of the world. You're not seeing reality, you're predicting it. Here's the weird part. Your brain is locked inside a dark skull. It doesn't see light. It doesn't hear sound. All it gets are electrical impulses, tiny signals from your senses. From that, it builds everything. It fills in gaps, makes assumptions, and sometimes it gets it wrong in fascinating, brain-breaking ways. That dress you swore was white and gold? Someone else saw blue and black because their brain hallucinated it differently. This isn't philosophy, it's neuroscience. And today we're diving into the bizarre truth of how your brain creates the illusion you call reality. Stick around, because once you understand what's really going on inside your head, you'll never see the world the same way again. What is perception, really? Let's break this down. Your brain is completely sealed inside your skull. It has no direct contact with the outside world. No windows, no light, no sound. All it ever receives are electrical signals from your eyes, ears, skin, nose, and tongue. That's it, raw data. So how do you get from buzzing neurons to a world that feels solid, colorful, and real? Here's the answer. Your brain makes a guess. It takes that noisy input and combines it with your memories, your expectations, your beliefs, and builds a model of the world. A simulation, a best-guess hallucination of what it thinks is out there. This process is known as predictive processing, and it's one of the hottest ideas in neuroscience today. Your brain isn't just reacting to the world, it's constantly predicting what's about to happen and updating the model if it gets surprised. You're not passively observing reality, you're actively constructing it. And most of the time it works. Your hallucination matches the world well enough to get by. But sometimes things glitch, and when they do, you get a rare peek behind the curtain. Ready to see how deep the illusion goes? The science of controlled hallucination. So, what do scientists really mean by a controlled hallucination? Let's bring in neuroscientist Anil Seth, who explains it like this. We're all hallucinating all the time. When we agree on our hallucinations, we call it reality. Your brain is constantly creating an internal model of the world, predicting what should be there based on patterns, and only correcting itself when something unexpected happens. It's like Google Maps. It shows you where you think you are, and only updates your location when the GPS says, "Nope, you've made a wrong turn." Think about it. You have a blind spot in your vision, but you don't see a hole. Your brain just fills it in. You can hear a word differently based on the image you see. Hello, McGurk effect. Some people feel phantom limbs that aren't there because the brain expects a hand to exist. These are not errors. They're proof that your brain doesn't wait for reality. It predicts it and then checks if it was right. And if that sounds strange, just wait until you see what happens when the brain gets it completely wrong. Ready for a few mind-glitching examples? When the brain gets it wrong. Let's talk about what happens when your brain's predictions don't match reality, and how that exposes the hallucination underneath. The dress. Remember that viral photo? Half the internet swore it was white and gold. The other half saw blue and black. Same image, different realities. Why? Because each brain made a different guess about lighting and hallucinated color accordingly. The McGurk effect. Watch someone say "ba" but parry it with video of lips mouthing "fa", and your brain hears "fa". You're not hearing sound, you're seeing it, and your brain is filling in what it expects to hear. The rubber hand illusion. Put a fake hand on a table, hide your real hand. Tap both in sync for a few seconds, and suddenly you'll feel the fake hand as your own. That's your brain accepting a hallucinated body part into its model. These are just a few examples of predictive perception in action. Your brain isn't reacting to the world. It's guessing the world and checking if it guessed right. Most of the time, it does. But when it doesn't, that's when reality cracks and the hallucination reveals itself. Now the big question, if your brain makes up reality, what does that say about you? So, is reality even real? So if your brain is making up its version of reality, does anything you experience actually exist out there? Let's be clear, there is a real world. Chairs, atoms, gravity, they're not illusions. But what you experience isn't the world itself. It's your brain's internal model of that world. A simulation shaped by light, sound, memory, and meaning. Your brain predicts what's likely to be out there and then compares it to sensory input. When the input agrees, it reinforces the guess. When it doesn't, the brain adjusts. This back and forth keeps your hallucination tightly controlled. And this isn't just a cool idea, it's reshaping everything from AI perception models to mental health treatment. Your reality is a deeply personal version of a shared world, edited, filtered, and constantly updated by your brain. In a way, we all live in slightly different realities, different guesses, different models, different experiences of the same room. So no, reality isn't fake, but your experience of it is crafted from the inside out. You're not seeing the world as it is. You're seeing it as your brain needs it to be. Next, let's talk about why this insight changes everything. Once you realize that your brain constructs reality, not just records it, everything changes. Your thoughts can shape what you perceive. If you expect someone to be angry, your brain might literally interpret their face that way, even if they're calm. Your emotions can distort your senses. Depression, anxiety, trauma, these don't just affect how you feel. They can change what you see, hear, or remember. Why? Because your brain's predictions are biased by past experience. Your reality is negotiable. By changing how you think, through therapy, meditation, even placebo, you can literally reshape your perception of the world. This is why the controlled hallucination theory isn't just a weird thought experiment. It's the key to understanding consciousness, perception, mental health, and even artificial intelligence. In fact, AI developers are now training machines to predict their inputs just like the human brain does. The line between brain and machine getting blurrier every day. The more we learn, the clearer it becomes. Reality isn't something you see, it's something you build. So now the question is, if your brain controls the simulation, who's really in charge? Let's wrap it up. So, what if your brain didn't just perceive reality? What if it's been hallucinating your entire world all along? Every sight you see, every sound you hear, every emotion you feel, all part of a custom-built simulation generated by your brain, just convincing enough to keep you alive. You're not just a passenger in your mind. You're the architect of your experience. And that means your reality can be glitched, shaped, or even upgraded. The next time you look in a mirror, ask yourself, am I seeing what's real or what my brain expects to see? Because now you know. Reality is a controlled hallucination, and you are the one hallucinating. This is BrainSnag, where science feels stranger than fiction, and the facts hit harder than your morning coffee. Subscribe if your brain craves strange. Like if this bent your mind in the best way. Comment, what illusion has tricked you the most? Watch, wonder, repeat.